on letsLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on letsLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on letsLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on letsLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on letsLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. ROZ brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life, this Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on Let'sLiveRadio.com or download our free app. Watch live on Let'sLiveRadio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504-294-LIVE. That's 504-294-5483. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding party or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. Elder Roz brings KHALILAH Franklin to the table. Find out what you can learn from her latest release, Girl, Get Your Life. This Monday at 7 a.m. on ROZ Table Talk, airing live on Let's Live Radio. Listen on letsliveradio.com or download our free app. Watch live on letsliveradio.com or on Let's Live Radio's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. And if you have a question or comment for Elder Roz or her guest, call into the show at 504.
Well, great morning, everyone. This is Elder Roz. So excited once again to be back. We are here live in the NOLA Skyline event room. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I'm just thanking God because this is the day that he has made. And listen, we only have two options. That is to rejoice and to be glad in it. So watch on this morning. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Come on and just thank God for breath. Thank God for life on this morning. I'm excited again to be here at ROZ Table Talk. Shout out to Kelly, DJ Kelly Fresh. Thank God for her and all that she does behind the scene, making it happen. And again, all of you that are here on today. We have a great show lined up on today. But look, I do have a few quick announcements. I want you to call in on today. We're going to have a great conversations. Get your girlfriends, listen, get your mama, get your sisters and them, even some men. We're going to have a great conversation on today. And we are definitely excited about the things that's happening here that Let's Live Radio have been partnering with the Executive Plaza here, and we're going to be having a raffle. Listen, we want to do something great. We've been broadcasting from the NOLA Skyline for a couple of weeks now, so I hope you've all had an opportunity just to see the wonderful view and where we've been at. So there is a beautiful, beautiful banquet room here, and we're actually going to be raffling off for your next big 2021 event. Now listen, this room is beautiful. I think the normal price, if I'm not mistaken, Kelly, close to what, $700 an hour or something like, yeah, so $700 an hour. Y'all, it is laid out on the 11th floor here. And again, it is beautiful. The raffle tickets list are going to be 1 for $5 or 3 for $10. We want you to participate because all of the proceeds, 100% of it is going to 2 nonprofit organizations that support children and women. We want you to take part. You can contact me, send me a text message, DM me, Facebook me, whatever you do, you know how to get in touch with me. Or you can also come here to the Executive Plaza, 10,001 Reed Boulevard, Monday through Friday. You can purchase your ticket from 8 to 5 in the lobby. But listen, we're going to go ahead and jump right into that. I'll go ahead and give more shout-outs during the rest of the show. But I have a young lady here that I've been knowing for a couple of years now, and I love her demeanor, very quiet demeanor, but a very strong demeanor when I see her. She has written a book, and I believe this is the first, so I am excited as her and a co-author have written a book. It is called Girl, Get Your Life. And so my guest today is Miss KJ Franklin. Good morning, Miss Franklin.
Good morning, Rod.
How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
So I'm just excited just to be here. I had an opportunity to go through the book, and I tell you, I got notes, I got cards, I got things highlighted. This is a very interesting book. But before we get into that, I always like our listeners and our viewers just to learn a little bit about who you are. So tell us a little bit about who KJ Franklin is.
First of all, I'm a wife and mother of 2 boys. I'm a master life coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a healthcare consultant.
Okay.
And I'm just a woman, a girl, a lady navigating through life myself.
Navigating through life. Well, that's a good setup, navigating through life. So when I was reading the book, I was so, I guess I was intrigued, I was compelled, I was, some of it I could relate to. So it really was it really catches you. And I wrote several different notes down about your book. And once I got through it, well, the first thing that caught my attention is, and I don't know if this is a play on words, so you got to tell me that. So it's Girl, Get Your Life, but life is spelled L-Y-F-E. Was that intentional? Is that explain how that title even comes up.
I wanted something that would be informal.
Okay.
And if you look up the word life, L-Y-F-E, is used in many dictionaries, primarily the Urban Dictionary, like get your life, put emphasis on life. Not just get your life, but let's get your life.
Yeah.
So I put more emphasis on getting yourself together, exuberating what you already have and making it come forward.
So how did all this come about to write a book? Because it's not just you. You have a co-author, A.M. Collins. So what happened? Did you got you all are colleagues, friends? How did all this come about?
For about 20 years now.
Okay,
And
all right.
she's actually the book person, the bookworm.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
And we often bounce different things off each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a project in place a few years ago.
Okay.
But we never really put it through. But after talking to her and different life experiences and other individuals, mostly ladies, of course,
Yes.
and we are a part of different book clubs.
Yeah.
It's weird how a lot of women go through so much and
Yes.
it's not talked about, or we often hide
Yeah.
so much. So I told her that, I said, well, how about we put out something that can be inspirational and touch on some of the things that women go through, but not necessarily make the woman feel, shame about
Exactly.
what they're going
Right.
through. So
I think that's good. What you were saying, women just go through so much, and so if you're a guy and you're viewing, don't tune us out. Don't turn a deaf ear because I know you have a woman in your life. If you're a male and you have a female in your life, but we go through so much, and I thought the book was very strategic in the way that it was written because again, I saw a lot of experiences, worldly experiences. I'm trying to think of the right words to say.
yeah,
But
that's
then,
one of the descriptions we use worldly. We
Okay,
didn't want to
right.
just target towards the Christians or religious
Yeah,
individuals.
right,
We wanted
right.
to touch those who are afraid to turn to certain things biblically or health-wise.
so the whole purpose is it. So would you consider it a self-help book?
Yeah, it's
You
a
would?
self-help, wellness, awareness book. Basically, to bring some light on mental illness.
Yes, yes. Now, what I found was interesting. So, on the back of the book, it says this book was written to bring awareness to women who have wondered why so many of their relationships have failed. So that just caught my attention. So if you want to know why your relationships have failed, listen, this book here is definitely one to pick up and to talk about. So it goes through, it was 14, at first I said 14 women, but I said, well, really not 14 women because you kind of highlight or you tell the story of a teenager, you tell the story of young adults, you tell a story of the woman, So I thought that was just are these real women? I was waiting to ask, like, are these real women that you have encountered, or any of the women, some that you know? So I was just really curious about that. How did these stories? Because even in my note takings and reading through it, I'm not going to tell y'all the book because y'all got to buy, you got to support the book. But this is what I did read after I went through each one, and I love how you have it titled of the female's name. I kind of wrote down what the theme was. Like, for instance, one person I saw rape, another person I saw abuse, the parental pressure, to perform. So how did that come about? Because you have 14 totally different stories.
They're
How
all
did that come
fictional
about? So they're all fictional.
characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're nobody like specifically. But those are things that women go through. And I wanted something
Absolutely.
that can reference anybody that was reading the book. So I wanted to kind of meet every woman in the middle to let them know that because of your circumstance or because you have experienced certain circumstances does not mean that was the end of the world or is not the end of the world.
Because I think one thing you point out in your book, you talked about social media, and not all social media is bad. However, you can fall into that trap. I think I said this on maybe my last show, that sometimes we covet some of the things that we see on social media where we're just, it's the best life and I want this. But if you think about that, nobody's putting out there the bad. Who's going to do that? Because we can create this facade and this glamorous lifestyle and everything's wonderful and me and my husband are traveling and not to say that that's not happening, but who's going to really
you're
put
suffering, going through something, but looking at
And you
social media and everything looks so good, you can
Yeah.
automatically put yourself in an anxious mood because you're like, okay, their life is so wonderful, glamorous, traveling, doing this and
Yes.
that, and then you start finding all the faults in your own relationship.
Yes,
But
yes.
instead of realizing that every relationship has good and bad, and
everyone, exactly.
people are going to show front on social media what's good and what's going right in their life, you in turn start putting less effort in making your relationship better because you're feeling some type of way about what you're seeing.
Correct. So I want to talk about that, because one main thing that I got out of the whole book when I finished, I was like, just the women that you characterized just were suffering in silence. A lot of them, suffering in silence. They really didn't have anyone they could talk to, not feeling that someone would understand them. So, how do you keep that from happening, or what was the goal when you wrote the book? The end goal now is that you have someone to talk to, or why do women suffer in silence, and why are the relationships failing?
Well, as far as the suffering in silence, with me, I am a doctoral student too with Liberty University, studying traumatology and community care and awareness. And I want to put out there that it's okay if you have some type of mental illness, depression, anxiety going on, or postpartum. All of those things seem kind of taboo in our community, but it's okay if you have it, and go ahead and seek out the help that you need. Even sometimes the church look down on
Absolutely.
depression or mental illness or seeking the doctors. I mean, this year and last year, I've been seeing it put out there more open to seek
I'm
medical
so glad
help.
about that. Yes.
But before, it was taboo to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was my number one goal. Stuff happens. Stuff happens to everybody. Nobody's perfect. Life brings you through different stages. And if you need the help, recognize that you need to help and get the help. Don't just suffer to yourself, or don't self-cope, because self-coping can lead to other things. I just seen one of the characters overdose.
Exactly.
Because they were
And on the outside, everything looked wonderful.
perfect,
Yeah.
wonderful.
And I think I'm so glad. I just want to kind of stay there for a little bit, because that is something, as you said, it's taboo in our community. I just remember growing up, that was just something that you see it. You really couldn't, I guess as a child, you see it like something's off with this, something's not right, or why is this person acting like that? And you hear adults say different things, and you get labels. And because we don't understand something, okay, we talk about it. We don't try to, we just talk about it, we label it, we shun it away. And even what I've found, I guess in ministry and serving in ministry for over 25 years now, I think something that, and I've seen more pastors now releasing that to the hands of medical professionals, and it's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
It's nothing wrong, and everything is, how can I say it? It might not just be a prayer wait. Understand what I'm saying? In the prayer, the answer might be go get some help from the medical person that is going to school, that can tell you exactly how to sort through these feelings and the trauma
to
that
work
you have
through
been
it.
through. Right, exactly. So the answer is in prayer, but everything might not just be handled just like that. And I think that's something, we've just got to learn. Listen, this is beyond my pay grade. Like, let me send you to some place, because we could do more damage. And I think we've seen that. I saw it, just in the book, like, girl, go talk to somebody, or your mama just want to talk to you. Because I'm listening and I'm reading the characters, and I'm just saying, oh my God. But it's so real to know that this happens, unfortunately,
Every day.
every day.
Look at the statistics, the numbers every day.
Have you done, I was going to say, had you done any type of, because I know you said you're studying now, had you done any type of research on just the studies of
I don't have exact numbers
concrete,
at this point, but the numbers are high. Look at if you pass down Claiborne and Canal Street, just at the women that's out there. They have one lady in particular. She recently, I'm gonna say within the last 5 years, lost her mind, have been out of her mind, and choose to stay underneath the bridge and live that lifestyle. And to us, that's not normal, but that's her new norm because of whatever mental illness that has come about. So, I mean, it's out there. It's present in our face. We may just drive by it and not realize that it's a medical or mental condition that has taken place. But a lot of people, they wasn't like that at one point, but things over their lifetime has put them in those different places. Even
go ahead.
The suicide rate is
That's
steady
another one.
climbing.
Yes.
And it's because of the pressures that's put up on our shoulders and stuff. I mean, it's a little out of control, and I think it's because people don't normalize getting the mental health that's needed.
Yeah, I loved in the beginning. I laughed in the beginning. I don't even know if I had gotten to the chapters. It might have been an introduction, and it was something that you said as far as and I might be paraphrasing, like we want to live like the Joneses or something like that.
Yeah.
And you said, girl, you a Johnson, be a Johnson. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
just
Be yourself. Your life is different.
Be yourself,
Yeah.
right? And so women, we tend not to do that. So the pressure comes from, where do you think? I mean, social media. I mean, you think it's parental? You think we put pressure on
It's
ourselves?
all ourselves, our parents. We want to live up to our parents, our friends.
Yeah.
We see our friends doing
True.
certain things in careers, and we feel like, okay, we should be there on that level. It can be all sources of things.
Yeah.
And that's why I did a variety of characters, so you can see some pressure stems from an overbearing mother. Some pressure stems from just the husband in a relationship or jobs and what they expected.
Yeah.
One of the characters in there, it was the pressure of the mom wanting the daughter to do something, but the mom didn't hear that the daughter didn't want to go that route.
Exactly.
You know, so
Clearly.
a lesson needed to be learned from that mom, but
Yeah.
at the same time, her ear still was shut tight because she wanted a daughter to live a certain lifestyle that just wasn't there. I always make a joke. In life, God created everybody not equally.
Okay.
So you're going to have a certain percentage that's excelling, doing well. You're going to have a certain percentage that maybe just not meant to do good. I mean, everybody is not equivocal when it comes to life.
Right.
And its being or whatever. So no matter how much we try to change some people, it's just not in them to be changed. I think God has a reason for their personality or the things that they do to be that way.
I think, yeah, so I look at it as, I think once you are in Christ, everything has changed. I think once you get in Christ, you might not realize it, the unlimited possibilities. I think I look at it that way because Christ came that we would live this victorious life, and I think that's something that we don't take advantage of, all of the benefits of being in Christ now, because you know, I don't believe you have to. I think sometimes we choose it. You know, the Bible says that we're destroyed because of a lack of knowledge, you know, so that's a resource tool right there to just help at whatever level you're on to live victoriously. And it might not, and living victoriously doesn't have to mean I live in a 10-bedroom house with, you know, the horseshoe drive. That doesn't mean that, you know, it's exactly right.
I recently told someone that everybody's not on the same level when it comes to religion or per se. A lot of people always ask, well, how can you just look past somebody when they've done something to you, or how can you just keep helping, or how can you always see the good in somebody? And I said, it takes a certain, I don't know, it's a certain level when you appreciate God and understand God's will. And
when you
God's
realize what he did for you, it becomes real easy for me.
Yeah. You're going to keep giving. Your heart is going to naturally be open to it because it's just a certain level you have to be on where you're not thinking, oh, well, they did such and such. You don't care anymore. You just do what you're supposed to do, knowing that God is going to bless you in return, or you're serving and doing his word.
Yeah, and that's good. I think that's it, too. We got to take ourselves out of it sometime. And, you know, when we realize we live in this dispensation of grace right now, and so much grace that has been given to all of us, like literally those that are serving and not serving God. We're living under grace right now. But again, those of us that are in Christ, when we realize, you know what, at the end of the day, I release you. I forgive you. Yes, it hurt like heck.
And that's one of my favorite things. God grant new mercies every morning. Leave yesterday where it was. Let's start over. New
That's
day.
why I'm
Why
so
stress on
excited.
it?
It is a new day. I'm so excited. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We are live from the NOLA Skyline. I am talking to author K.J. Franklin. We're going to dig a little closer into her book. It's called Girl, Get Your Life. Listen, if you have a question or a comment, also the third caller on today, guess what we're going to do? We're going to bless you with a complimentary raffle ticket. This drawing is going to be right at the beginning of the new year for your next big event at the NOLA Skyline Event Room. You can dial in at 504-294-LIVE. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back on Rose Table Talk.
If you are looking for some inspiration, grab Girl, Get Your Life, a book that will grab your attention along with offering some tools for life. Girl, Get Your Life can be purchased at Zulon Press Christian Bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and Franklin Publication, LLC. Visit Franklin Publication at www.franklinpublication.com to see our coaching services. And from there, you can subscribe to inspirational blogs and much more. Give a gift this Christmas that will keep on giving. Help a young lady or woman discover her true self, better her relationships, and live the life she's destined to live. There's no better gift than the discovery of your destiny. Order your copy of Me We Wins today at mewewins.com, amazon.com, or at our local community book center located at 2523 Bayou Road in New Orleans. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding, party, or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info. If you are looking for some inspiration, grab Girl, Get Your Life, a book that will grab your attention along with offering some tools for life. Girl, Get Your Life can be purchased at Zulon Press Christian Bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and Franklin Publication, LLC. Visit Franklin Publication at www.franklinpublication.com to see our coaching services. And from there, you can subscribe to inspirational blogs and much more.
And we are back here at the table, Rose Table Talk, excited on this morning. I see many of you are looking and chiming in, so excited about all of you. If you would, go ahead and just share and go ahead and tell somebody else that we're on, that they can join the watch party. And do me a favor, please make sure you take a moment to like us on Facebook, Let's Live Radio. You also like my page, Rose Table Talk. You're going to have a plethora of information of different shows and things that we're bringing to you, so we would love for you to do that. But we're back, and we are talking this morning to the author of Girl, Get Your Life. It's herself, KJ Franklin. Our co-author couldn't be here this morning, but shout out to A.M. Collins and her contributions that she has made to this wonderful book. And, you know, this book is for women. This book is for young mothers. This book is for older women. And we were talking about that during the break. Your target audience. So when you sat down and said, okay, I'm going to write this book, who was your target audience? Who is this book meant for?
Young ladies starting out 18 through 20s. Because that's like a pivotal point in your life when you're trying to find yourself and figure out yourself. A.M. Collins and myself, we often laugh at the choices that we made, some good, some bad, while trying to figure out our life path, what our careers are going to be, who we want or going to marry.
That's pressure right there. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah.
Do we want kids? Don't we want
so
kids?
she's married too. Is she called her? She's married.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
Okay.
married. And if you want to have this lavish career, how can you have this lavish career and be a full-time mom and wife without dropping the ball? And I kind of speak about that in the book.
Yes.
Choosing to be a wife. And
Yes,
a mother.
yes, you did. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, that section in the back. I was like, wow. So that.
I mean, your whole life you're told you're supposed to go to school, get married, find your husband in school. Ladies actually
we're groomed at a young age.
Find your husband while you're in college and then start this family. But when you get to a certain point and you want to decide, do I want to have a career or do I want to?
That's true. Yeah.
It's hard. Some people say you can have it all. Trying to do it all can be stressful and add that anxiety or depression if you start dropping a ball in itself.
Yes, because we put and as you say, because you're female, you know, woman, hear me roar, and I am, because listen, we are beautiful creations and creatures, and God has put a lot in us, but it's a lot, because again, who wants to hear that you failed as a mother?
Yeah, especially when you plan to be a mother and wife, you really want it. So you're going to put in your all, whether it means losing yourself just to make sure that they have it or not.
I remember when I was growing up, I wanted, my husband might be listening, I wanted 10 kids. I was like, listen, I'm having 10 kids for this man. I love this man, and I'm going to have all these babies. And the babies started coming, and we got the 4, and I'm like, oh my God. So, you know, but it is a lot, because my desire was, and I say it to this day and will continue to say it, I'm most honored that God chose me to be a mom. I really am, I absolutely
and it's very
love.
rewarding,
Yes,
but
I
it can
love
be
it.
hard.
But it
and
is
people
hard.
don't like to talk about the hard side of it.
It's very hard.
Some people criticize you if you mention being a mother is hard.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it. And that can sometimes put people too in a silence place, because now they're suffering in silence because they're afraid to, you know, speak out about motherhood is hard, especially when all sorts of things, money, job changes, life happens, sickness.
Yeah.
When stuff happens, it can be hard, but I mean.
So so let's just say a mother is listening right now, and somebody might be listening, and she might have her 3 small babies or whatever, or her teenagers. Well, who does she talk to? I mean, because not every situation might be where I'm go, you know, I need a therapist, but what does she do? How does she release that so that she doesn't feel like something's wrong, or not to even hold that in?
I'd say evaluate your friends.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people say, okay, I got all these friends, but if you have a lot of friends and you don't have that one friend you can go and vent to and they understand, you need to evaluate your circle, evaluate your friends.
That's good, yeah.
I'm blessed to have some people that I can vent to about motherhood and even being a wife sometimes, and they not throw it back at me because they understand that
so
it is hard.
I, yeah.
So
someone called it, I had a guest before, and she called it that trench friend, like somebody that's like in the trench. Shout out to Arthur Deanne Renard. But she talked about that trench friend, you know, somebody that, and I will say I'm blessed to have a few that I can, and I can, guess what? Elder Roz cries. Yes, Elder Roz. Yes, Rosalind Woodfox will cry sometime. I get mad, I get upset, and, you know, just pressure sometimes. We are human. And that release feels so good.
It does, and you need that here and there.
Yeah, so now, so you said you wrote it for the 18 to 22-year-old.
And shockingly, women in their 50s and 60s has been most responsive. They relate to it well. They live through it. They wish that this was out, or they were able to talk about these things back then.
Yes.
A lot of women say that once they hit 60, that's when they realize, okay, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to make sure everything
60.
is done.
Could you imagine that? Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been getting great feedback from women in their 50s and 60s, shockingly. But my initial thought was for that woman that's trying to figure out life before they get to that point.
Absolutely. I can attest to that. And what you're saying is so true. And you wonder, like, okay, God, I didn't see that happening. So, but it is a blessing to know that, so now it's a wide range that you can reach, not the older women. Because just imagine, I just know where I am now, and the generation that my mom grew up in, it was just totally different. You know, you don't talk about those things.
And
you put up with all of that. You suppress it.
I was so shocked because I didn't expect them to actually enjoy it. And a lot of them has purchased the book also for their daughters. One even want to include it in one of the women's ministry groups at their church.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
really was shocked. But I mean, I guess it needs to be put out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I commend you for being brave, again, to put it in there, to put it in the book. And, you know, there are many ways that we can use to reach the women. And I think when you get to that age, something that you said was key. Okay, you get to 60, you know what? I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I am myself, you know, whatever. I'm going to be me. And it's wonderful because now, once we get through all of that, trying to live up to this, hide this, we done been there, done there, the T-shirt, we did it all. You know what? Let me open my mouth and finally talk and tell this young girl, you know, help this young girl, because for so long, again, if no one starts to say anything, when does this sick cycle
Exactly. On the outside is glamorized, but in the house, in the inside, you know, a lot of stuff is going on. So the ones looking in from the outside, like, okay, that's how it's going to be, voila. And then when stuff happen indoors, you having a nervous breakdown, you thinking it's you, but everybody goes through this. We just glamorize it on the outer surface.
So when you wrote it, so again, the book you all is called Girl, Get Your Life. And it's a story of around 14 females, but in the back too, what I love, once you tell the different stories, then it kind of turns into of a more, I guess I was assessing myself. You know, you start asking yourself questions. So it's almost it's a self-help book, you know, and there's a worksheet in the back. I love the way that you did that.
It gives you a little tools just to assess yourself,
Mm-hmm,
to recognize, number one, are you experiencing any type of mental illness,
Right.
depression, anxiety, postpartum, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you are.
Mm-hmm.
Finding out, you mentioned earlier, why some relationships
Yeah.
does not work.
Right.
You need to learn yourself before you get into some of the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how you want to be loved, I mean, how you expect your mate to
So
love
how
you.
so I want to pick your brain with that one. So
Okay.
how do you do that? Because I know the goal is to help someone. So my daughter, this was so funny yesterday, and I'm not going to put all, she would fall out if I put her information out. But it was a situation that came up, and she talked about something as far as love life, and in her particular arena of being 19, and I said that's not love, that's lust. Now I'm not talking about Elizabeth, but we were having a conversation, and I said, kids your age don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know what love
You
is.
don't. A lot of
And
times
I
we go off of
honestly,
what we see.
yes, I'm like, honey, I've been married for 27 years, been with this man for 29. I can tell you what love is when you get down in the thick of it, and we still in it after we have had some real life issues that hit, not that,
You at 19 and 20, you think you.
Oh
in
my
love,
God! So
because that's one of the first.
what do you tell that? How do they know how to love themselves? You're saying you can't expect that from someone else because you don't even know how to love yourselves. How do you love yourselves? What do you do? How do you get to learn who you are? And I don't know if you can even answer that. You know what I
It's
mean?
hard to answer, but
yeah,
just try to figure out what you like.
What
not
you like.
by what you see.
that's good. Now that's
Because some
good.
people, they look at their mom, dad, marriage and assess, okay, this is love. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. Whether
Right.
it's good or bad, it can be.
Right.
You know, some household situations.
And I
are
wonder, I guess that's
poorly
true too,
and
because
they
I guess if you grow up and you're seeing a situation where there might be abuse, and I know sometimes you might think that's love.
normal.
Yeah, you might think that's normal.
That's how
Yeah,
it's supposed to be.
correct.
Some people look at TV
Mm-hmm.
and they live in this
Yeah, you're right. I know.
in this television world. Okay, this is love. This is how it's supposed
Yeah,
to be. And then they
yeah.
get in a relationship and don't experience that, and they're like, oh no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or, so
Because I was the one growing up, I was like, he's gonna come riding in on the, I'm telling you, on the knight in shining armor, when we gonna have the white picket fence,
and as soon as
two
it don't
kids,
work,
and
you're disappointed.
I was like, what happened? It's like life, life happened. Like the reality of it is, it could be that, it might not just look like that. So yeah, I think that's key to know who you are. And it always starts with what do you like,
We're doing some coaching sessions that I may do. There are several questions and readings that kind of help you determine or find out what you like, or what gives you joy, what gives you happiness. And a lot of people don't know what they like, or how they want to be loved, or how they should be loved, because they don't know themselves. And it's hard to just sit there and be like, oh, let me find out, or let me figure out, how to love myself, or figure out, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Just magically appear.
Exactly.
So you may need some questions or guidelines,
True.
or some things just to figure out what you
True.
really like.
And I think it reminds me of one of the characters in the book with the mom pressuring her daughter, you live this type of lifestyle, and the daughter just clearly said, Mom, I don't want that. And I think you have to be true to yourself, even if you are in a relationship. And I will say, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, if you're in a particular job, if you're a particular career or a particular setting, relationship, and you realize, you know what, when I leave this situation, it's not adding anything to me. I don't feel good about myself. Even when I'm there or with this person or at this particular place, if there's nothing good coming out of that and something is resonating on the inside of you, don't ignore that, because it's okay. People switch jobs, change careers, go back to school. And again, and I'm not saying, okay, after 25-year marriage or 50-year marriage, but you know what I'm saying? If this is not working and something's not right, let's see how we can correct this. What do I need to do so that I'm fulfilled in it as well?
And you get that feeling, you know when it's right and when it's not right.
Exactly. And I think we suppress it because, as you say, girl, get your, I can see it now. Did you have any, when you were writing it, were any of the chapters difficult to kind of put it together? Because you have literally 14 totally different characters. So did you find it difficult to come up with what each theme would be like, and was it hard to write any of them?
I wrote it on instinct. Like,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I may have seen something or just sitting somewhere and it popped in my mind, different scenarios, and it wasn't hard. I mean, it took time for me to write it. It didn't happen overnight.
Okay.
But when a character or situation popped in my head,
You
I
just begin
wrote,
to write. So did you know that, or always had a passion for writing?
No, I didn't.
No?
A.M.
Okay.
Collins is the writer.
Okay.
I'm the talker. I'm the engager.
Wow,
She's
yeah.
the writer.
So,
And I talk to so many. I counsel so many.
yeah,
I coach
I was just
so
going to
many.
ask, yeah,
Like,
correct.
I'm more of a physical type of person. Let's sit
Right.
down. Let me figure out what's going on.
Right.
And people naturally open up. Strangers naturally open up.
Right. And that's been you noticed that for a while,
that's
really?
been for years. Yeah.
Really?
And I don't know. I'm just that type of person.
So
I
now,
love the one-on-one type of
absolutely.
communicating.
Yeah.
But she's the writer.
She's
and
the
she
writer.
often said, put it in writing. I'm like, no, I'd rather just talk to him, But
So, what do you see happening with the book now? So, as you said, which is wonderful. It seems like some doors are opening. Yeah, I was just going to say that.
About the character.
Because literally, Keisha was a good one. I like Keisha. Simone, I'm just.
Oh, I've been hearing
Simone. Yeah, y'all got to get this. Wait, y'all got to get this
a
book.
man told me, my aunt told me, I need to go read Simone. I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know why she
love
wants to read Simone, but
It was
go buy it and read
interesting. So if somebody wants to, how do they pick up a copy of the book? How do they contact you? Maybe somebody's listening now and is like, hey, listen, I want that for my group, my speaking engagements. Well, how do they contact you?
www.franklinpublication.com is our website. You can go online and purchase a book or email me at franklinpublication@yahoo. If you want me for a speaking engagement or an autographed copy, I'm also internationally distributed, so Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Zulon Press, and most Christian bookstores have it also.
Awesome. So listen, you got to pick this book up. This would be a wonderful stocking stuffer, Christmas present.
And it's small. It's not a huge book. You could finish it.
It's less than
rather
100
fast.
pages, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally less than 100 pages.
Yeah,
You
so
can
it's
zip
an easy
through
read.
it.
And
Yes, it
I
is.
did that purposely because everybody is not readers, but I wanted
Correct.
some people to grasp it, so I made it. It's a real easy read.
Excellent. So listen, we're going to take another quick break, and if you have any questions for Ms. Franklin on today, any comments that you'd like to add, we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and call in 504-294-LIVE. Don't forget, y'all going to have me hold on to this raffle ticket, but that's okay. I'm trying to find out if can people from the show win. So we're giving away that raffle ticket. If you have not been, and maybe that might be a great idea, listen, come and just do a tour at the NOLA Skyline here at 10,001 Reed Boulevard. It is absolutely beautiful, and we are raffling off an event that you can actually have. This room actually goes for $700 plus an hour, and it is wonderful. So you can purchase a raffle ticket, come right here to our lobby Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can pick up one for $5. So don't go to the Wendy's and get your $5 biggie. Come get your raffle ticket here, or you can get 3 for $10. And listen, all of the proceeds will go to support 2 nonprofit organizations for women and children. So that's wonderful. Just for $5, we can do that, turn around and give back to someone. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back at the table on ROZ Table Talk.
If you are looking for some inspiration, grab Girl, Get Your Life, a book that will grab your attention along with offering some tools for life. Girl, Get Your Life can be purchased at Zulon Press Christian Bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and Franklin Publication, LLC. Visit Franklin Publication at www.franklinpublication.com to see our coaching services. And from there, you can subscribe to inspirational blogs and much more. Give a gift this Christmas that will keep on giving. Help a young lady or woman discover her true self, better her relationships, and live the life she's destined to live. There's no better gift than the discovery of your destiny. Order your copy of Me We Wins today at mewewins.com, amazon.com, or at our local community book center located at 2523 Bayou Road in New Orleans. If you are looking for some inspiration, grab Girl, Get Your Life, a book that will grab your attention along with offering some tools for life. Girl, Get Your Life can be purchased at Zulon Press Christian Bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and Franklin Publication, LLC. Visit Franklin Publication at www.franklinpublication.com to see our coaching services. And from there, you can subscribe to inspirational blogs and much more. This show is being broadcasted live from the NOLA Skyline Event Center. It is the perfect space to make your next memory last a lifetime with breathtaking views of downtown New Orleans. Whether you are hosting a wedding, party, or even a corporate event, the NOLA Skyline Event Center is the venue for you. Visit NOLASkylineEventCenter.com for pricing and more info.
And we are back here at the table, a Rose Table Talk again. Been having a wonderful conversation with a young lady that I have the pleasure of knowing, Miss KJ Franklin. She is the author. She also has a co-author, and the name of their book is Girl, Get Your Life. So listen, ladies, single, young adults, this really is a great book to have in your possession, in your library, on your shelf. She takes you through a series of scenarios of different females, and literally reading it, once you come out of it, I think all of us, if we can't personally identify with one of the ladies, I know that there's somebody in our circle that is dealing with that. We were talking about, as females, we go through so much, and we have just pressure on us, outside pressure and internal pressure, social media pressure of how we should be as females. And a lot of times we go around and we suffer in silence. I love the book because she even directs your attention to, listen, it's okay, identify those feelings that you're going through, and then you might need to seek professional help. It is okay. And I think if we in our past would have seen more people kind of reach out on that, now people talk about mental health more than ever to me, which I think is really great. But one thing that kind of drives people off the edge that you've seen, I guess, on TV, that you've seen in movies, is when that breakup comes. You know, like us as females, it's just like, we just sometimes we don't want the breakup. I saw you had a section in there about. So what do you have to say about that with the breakups?
If the breakup happened, it was meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to allow something bad to walk out to have something good happen to us. Sometimes we hold on to things that we're not supposed to hold on to, and sometimes bad relationships. We go through so much trying to repair that relationship, so much happened, and we refuse to let it go because we want it to work so bad, and it just may not be for us. And then once the breakup happened, or that person leaves us or divorces us or whatever it may be, we're terrified, we're miserable, we're sad, we're depressed, but we don't look at the good in it. Maybe that needed to happen in order for me to do more with my life. We don't look at that was something bad or sour anyway in my life. We don't look at that person was bringing me down instead of lifting me up, because I was working so hard to make it work. So it's okay. There's a breakthrough through the breakup. And sometimes we have to look past the breakup, that it happened, that someone left us, or that we were turned down, you know, and realize, okay, there is good to come. Once I get this bad or this sourness out of my life, let's wait for the sweetness, the rejoicing that can happen.
So I've noticed too in the book, at the end of the chapters, just all throughout, but the end of each chapter, you have a scripture there. So as far as you were writing the different stories, did you automatically know, was Holy Spirit guiding you, or did you have to spend some time like, now what scripture goes with this? Or because it was really good how you, and I love the versions that you used, because it wasn't the
I wanted a relatable version.
yeah
I've noticed a lot of people don't read the Bible. A lot of people don't really believe in God these days.
correct.
So I wanted to reach out to a certain group of people,
Yeah.
but not pound the word of God on them, but
Yeah,
to let
exactly.
them know if they open up the Bible, those answers are there for a lot of things.
Yes.
So
That's wisdom. He that when it's that's wisdom, because again, if you come with the King Thou and Thou witherest and
the King James, the New Living.
now I
may
love,
not
and I'm a King James
necessarily-
kind of girl. I love it, but
that
not
might
everybody's on that
necessarily
level.
Resonate with everybody. Yep.
Exactly.
I gotta get to a certain level, and this is my way
Exactly.
of helping people to get to that level in my own
Yeah.
small way. But pretty much the Bible has all the answers there.
That's something that you did say in your introduction. Just some steps, I guess, just kind of really being accountable for the issues that you have. But one thing that you did say is drawing and learning more of God's word, like, because all the answers are there. So at the end of the day, would you call it a religious book? Because
Well, it does fall under Christian,
Yeah.
Christian self-help, Christian living. So, I mean, it can be classified as
Yeah.
a religious book because the word is in there, and the word, I mean,
Yeah.
the word is in our everyday life. It's just how we interpret
how we
it.
interpret it, yeah.
So,
I love the way you that you've done that. So what advice would you give someone that might be listening right now to that young person? And then would it be different definitely for the one that's, I said, 60 years old? What if there's someone, I guess, she's been in this marriage or she's been in this career and she's 60, and she reads the book and realize, you know what, maybe I wanted to do some things different, but now I'm 60.
it's never
What
too
would
late.
you tell her?
Have time. It's never too late. I teach at some colleges as an
Yeah.
adjunct instructor, and I had a lot of 60-year-old students.
Really?
Yes, and
Okay.
they were actually looking for a second career in life, so it's never too late. I mean,
Yeah.
each day give you the availability to learn something new, try something new, and as long as you're living and God give you bread, I mean, try.
So what about that teenager? So that that young adult, that young adult.
Life will give you many opportunities to decide and find out what you like. Don't be scared. Just jump into it. Try. Nothing's wrong with trying. And life lessons will happen along the way. If you want to do something, seek off to doing it. I mean, there's time that's available. But just pray about certain things, and God will naturally lead you in certain direction. And sometimes
Absolutely.
if God don't do it, your circle will. That's why it's good to evaluate your circle and make sure that you're surrounded by good influencers or positive people, because sometimes God speaks through those who you are surrounded by.
Yeah, that circle is so key. I can't. If one thing with Girl Get Your Life, listen, that circle is key, to have the right people around you, the right people that, again, that's pouring into you and that's not constantly taking from you. Or again, if you're not feeling well when you're in that circle, you need to change that. I think, do we have a caller, Kelly? I'm so excited. We have a caller on this morning. Good morning, caller. Are you there?
I'm here.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with on this morning?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Who am I speaking with on this morning?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I was wondering who I was speaking with on this morning. What's your name?
Kiosha Getrich.
Well, hello, Miss Kiosha. You have a question or a comment on this morning? Thank you so much for listening on this morning. What's your question or comment?
You're welcome. I just had a comment. I wanted to say that I've read the book and it's awesome, Girl Get Your Life. I got it for all my daughters, my nieces, everyone. We have group discussions about it. And I just have a question for KJ Franklin. I just want to ask, how has writing this book impacted your life? And what has that experience been like? Because this is your first book.
Well, I've been getting a lot more attention than I intended to. To say that I don't mind talking to a stranger and people naturally open up to me. This right here, speaking of This right here has been much for me. I'm more of the sidebar type of person, the one-on-one closet talking person, and I've been doing a lot more media and live speaking and more speaking engagements. And it's shocking because one would think that I'm built and full of confidence and love the
I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
the notoriety.
Because I know her.
And I actually don't. And but this has changed my life, being able to spread the word more, and increase the people that I can reach out to. And I guess that's a part of God's plan, because I do know Keosha, and I often speak to her about different things, and I'm very open. I'm very direct. I'm a straight shooter. And to know me is to love me. Some people may get offended by it. And later on, they call and be like, you was right about that situation. I didn't want to hear it at that time, but you was absolutely right. And now writing this book has put me on a different scale where I can reach a larger mass of people. So that has changed drastically.
And I'm sitting here because, like I said, I've had the privilege of knowing Miss KJ Franklin, and you are very poised at all times. So to hear her sit here and say that, I'm like, who is this lady? But it's amazing, as you said, the journey. I always call that we're on this journey, and once you take that next step and complete that assignment or that plan that God has for you that time, it opens up the door to so much more. And it really is wonderful because you are spreading the good news. You are teaching someone to live again. Listen, let me help you all, point you in the right direction. And it's just amazing because the things that, not necessarily that everything that we've gone through, but God has gifted you with the knowledge and put you around those to put it in a form where it can help somebody. So I think that's phenomenal. So I'm just laughing, but just to hear her say that, this doesn't seem like the person that I that I know. But thank you so much for calling in on this morning. We did have another caller. You still got a couple of minutes if you want to go ahead and call back. I don't know if we lost you or had to jump off, but listen, go ahead and still call back. I want Ms. Franklin to tell us one more time where you can pick up that book for those that might just be getting on.
Amazon, Walmart, Zulon Press, Barnes and Nobles. It's pretty much everywhere. Apple iBooks. And if you want an autographed copy or to contact me or find out what else is in the works, you can follow or subscribe to www.franklinpublication.com. You can email me at franklinpublication@yahoo.com. And just reach out if you have any questions or want an autographed copy or want to do something with Franklin Publication. Right now we're doing a coat drive, and we'll be donating the coats to women's and children's.
Wonderful.
We have this subgroup me and a few ladies had created. At first it was a joke, Harriet help. But it's been going strong for 4 years. We've been putting little bags together in the past with toiletry items and delivering it to the homeless underneath the bridge and around the Porter's Circle area. Last year in December, we donated a box of toiletries to Hager's house on Canal Street.
Hagar's, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
and this year we're doing a coat drive. So I mean,
Wonderful.
I've been in the community doing things for women. I mean,
Behind the scenes.
yes, behind the scenes, and now I'm on full display, which is
Yes, you
different for
are.
me.
Yes, and that's wonderful because many times when you get to that full display and to the front, you already been doing it, you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah,
God
for
just
years.
uses that, and you don't realize, and you're wondering, how did I get here? But really, when you look back, you've been doing it and you've been helping and again been in the community, so it is wonderful. So listen, you all, if you will pick up your copy on today, it is a wonderful self-help book. It will take you through different scenarios that I believe that we as females can relate to. And hey, if it's not you, still get the book and you might learn something that you can help somebody else. Because listen, be that one in the circle that's encouraging, be that one in your circle that's lifting somebody else up, that we can get that information and pour into our other sister so that we can see her thrive, that we can see her, living her best life. So author KJ Franklin, Girl, Get Your Life. It is a wonderful book. I think it would be excellent for young girls group, mentoring programs, older women. Listen, churches, she's available. She's out in the community, so definitely want to support her. So again, I'm just so excited about all of you that have tuned in on today, Rose Table Talk. We have just been having a wonderful time. So listen, if you're you're excited about what's happening here, I know that I am, and you'd like to be a guest on the show, why don't you go ahead and send me an email at rosetabletalk@letsliveradio.com. I'd love to have you here at the table to tell your story. Listen, something inspiring. We always have a great time, but the whole purpose is that we can encourage others, but through it all, that we would give God the glory. And again, we are broadcasting live here from the NOLA Skyline Event Room, such a beautiful, beautiful venue. And if you want to participate with us and partner and pick up a raffle ticket, we're going to, again, as we've donated to the community, we're on this thing now, and I'm so excited. We're going to be selecting 2 nonprofit organizations. So 100% of the proceeds we're going to be giving back right here to our city to help women and children. But we're closing out for today, but as we always do, we like to close in prayer. So all of you that are listening, listen, why don't you come on and just join in with the word of prayer on today. Father, how we love you, we bless you, we just magnify your name once again on today, God. And we thank you that you were here in the conversation on today, God, and our prayers that you were well pleased, God. Now on today, God, as we just give you this day, God, we lay everything at the altar, God, that you would be involved in every place that we go and everything that we do and everything that we say, God. We thank you that our light will so shine before men on this day that they will see our good works and glorify you, our Father, which is in heaven. So be our divine protection. Open up every door that needs to be opened, God. Heal sick bodies on today, God. Deliver, set free, God. Father, we are trusting and we are believing you for victory on this day. We give you praise, glory, and honor, and we believe that it is so in Jesus' name. We're going to be back. Guess what, y'all? Monday. I am excited about what God is doing through Rose Table Talk. Again, shout out to Kelly and for all that she does behind the scene. We're going to be back on Monday right here. But you know, I'm excited. My girl, Rochelle Lewis, is going to be in the house on today. Is that for 10 o'clock? She's going to be here, y'all, on a Monday. So I'm excited. Shout out to Rochelle with Morning Inspirations with Rochelle Lewis. So listen, stay tuned. Take a quick break. Get your coffee, scrambled eggs. Come on back 10 o'clock and go ahead on and support her. This is Elder Roz, and I'm closing out on today with Rose Table Talk. Have a wonderful day and a blessed week in the Lord. We'll meet you right back on Monday at 7 a.m. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye.